All right, good morning, class. I'm Professor Ginsberg. Today I'll be talking about two areas, one being the initial areas that I was confused about, and now that I have a good understanding of through teachers that stop by our classroom, and also the dialogue that we've had with classmates and the professor. And the second area that I'm going to be talking about is specific tips and takeaways I was able to learn um, from our student teachers. I think almost every single one of their presentations um, taught me an effective method or way to complete this lesson plan in the future. And so I really did and really do appreciate all those students that took the time out of their day to come by and help us. So the first thing I want to talk about is the essential literacy strategy focus and content focus. Initially, I was really confused on these two areas. I didn't know how to differentiate between the two. And now I understand that essential literacy strategy focus is more of kind of what the students should are learning or going to be doing throughout the whole entire unit. And then more specifically, the content focus. What are the students going to be learning or doing that lesson in a lesson or that day? And so I have a better understanding of that now. Um, and so to move on here, another area that I was really confused on was the language function and demands. And now I have understanding. It's kind of what the students are going to be required, language that's going to be used throughout the lesson. I think a lot of times as educators, I can only speak on myself, but we go into lessons um, not understanding the words that are going to be used and saying, okay, these are the languages or the language of the students, and the words that the students should be aware of when completing a specific task or lesson. So this area I have definitely more understanding on. Um, One thing I kind of want to talk about is one of the lesson plans that I was able to get a lot from, and a specific tip that I'll probably be using for sure in future lesson plans is I like the way this specific student kind of emboldened these specific words: define, connect, examine, and identify. And she used them initially in her context focus. And I like the way she continued to use it throughout her lesson plan. I thought it was a great method. I also liked, and she did say she was kind of going above and beyond, but I think it's something that's going to help me in the future. And is this the informal slash formative? She kind of breaks it down into every single area, and so that's definitely a tip I'll be using in future lesson plans. So I really enjoyed how she emboldened these words throughout. It seems to make a consistent flow throughout the whole entire lesson plan. So I really will use that in the future. In regards to another lesson plan that I really enjoyed, was it the math lesson plan, and I always look at it from a substitute perspective, and that is, can I walk into the class and fully understand what's going to be taking place that day? And so this lesson plan um, breaks it down really well. I like here at the end how she breaks it down in specifics, as well as up here. I'm a visual learner, so when I see something, sorry, let me find it. When I see something like this, when she breaks it down to activity 1, activity 2, activity 3, I know exactly what's going to be taking place. And so someone that's a visual learner, just helping me see it separately like this really does help. Um, and so this is another takeaway that I'll be kind of using in the future. And then just another takeaway that I think almost every guest teacher talked about was maybe not starting from the top or the bottom, but starting in the middle, particularly in this focused instruction area. What exactly are you going to be doing in your lesson? And then working your way up. I've written 2 lesson plans for my PE methods course so far, and this really helped me in completing the lesson plan. So I worked, working your way up, and then starting from the bottom was a great way to effectively complete um, this lesson plan. Uh, I just want to end on I know I'm not perfect, but I know if I continue to try if I continue to work with others in completing an effective lesson plan, I know in the future it'll make me more an effective teacher. So thanks again for listening to the video, guys. See you next class.